I never thought I'd pull the trigger on the man who raised me. But when Dad's boot connected with Rex's ribs, and he spat those words, "Dogs are useless. Just like you," something inside me snapped like a rusted chain. 2 minutes later, as Swap reached the door and Rex dragged the real monster out by his throat, I realized the betrayal ran deeper than blood. He'd framed me for his sins, and I'd carried them for 20 years. In that moment, with sirens wailing and my finger itching on the Glock,
it chose revenge over forgiveness.
Even if it meant burning our whole damn family to the ground. That's how it started. On a muggy August night in Detroit's East Side, where the air hangs heavy with the stink of the river and unkept promises.
I'm Savannah Reed,
32. K-9 handler for the DPD. The kind of cop who trusts her dog more than her own kin. Rex isn't just a partner, he's the only one who's never lied to me. For years we'd been a unit. Him sniffing out fentanyl labs in abandoned factories. Me keeping the perp's hands off his fur. But that night, everything I'd built, my badge, my sanity, my shot at redemption, crumbled because of the man who'd sworn to protect me. It wasn't always this way. Dad, Jack Reed, was a legend in the department back in the day. A detective who'd cracked the '05 auto plant heists, the ones that left 20 dead and the city bleeding jobs. Mom used to say he was the rock of our family, until the bottle turned him to gravel. By the time I was 10, he was bouncing between precincts, drowning suspicions of skimming evidence lockers in cheap bourbon. I idolized him anyway, followed him into the academy at 22. Thinking blood meant loyalty. What a fool. The call came in at 9:47 p.m., domestic disturbance at 1427 Mack Avenue. My childhood home. Dispatch crackled through my radio as Rex paced the passenger seat of our cruiser. His ears perked like he smelled the lie before I did. Possible shots fired, the voice said, involving off-duty officer. My gut twisted. Dad's address. I floored it. Lights silent because this felt personal, not protocol. The streets blurred, boarded up row houses. Kids on stoops hawking lissies. The endless grind of Motown's underbelly. Rex whined low, pawing the dash. He knew. I pulled up curbside. The house squatting like a bad memory under sodium lamps. Porch light flickering. Front door ajar. No sign of Mom's old Buick. I clipped Rex's lead, my hand steady on the leash even as my heart hammered. Easy, boy, I murmured, scratching his flank. He leaned in, solid as ever. We breached slow, me sweeping the hall with my cig drawn, Rex low and silent. Living room, overturned lamp, shattered Coors bottle, the metallic tang of fierce wet. Then Dad's voice, slurred and venomous from the kitchen. You think you're hot shit now?
Huh?
Parading that mud around like it makes you better than me? I froze. He was talking to me?
No, wait.
The shadows shifted, and there she was, my sister, Riley. 28. Fresh out of community college. Eyes wide as saucers. Backed against the fridge. Dad loomed over her. 9mm in his fist, not his service piece. Something black market sleek.
Dad.
My voice cracked the air like a whip. Rex growled. Hackles up. He wheeled, face purpled with rage and rock gut. Savannah. The fuck you doing here? His eyes flicked to Rex, then back. Calculating. Riley sobbed something about money, about him losing the house to bookies. But I saw it then, the twitch in his jaw, the way he angled the gun not at her, but toward the back door, like he was waiting for backup that wasn't coming. Put it down, Jack, I said, voice cut flat, but inside I was screaming. This was my father, the man who'd taught me to field strip a revolver at 12, who'd buried Mom's ashes under that crabapple tree when cancer took her at 45. Now he was unraveling, debts from underground poker rings catching up, and Riley Sweet, stupid Riley, had come to bail him out with her student loan cash. He laughed. A wet bark. Jack, that's how we're doing this. He stepped closer, boot lashing out not at me, but at Rex, who lunged instinctively. The impact thudded home, Rex yelping as he skidded across the linoleum. Dogs are useless, Dad snarled. Just like you, Savannah. Always have been. Covering for my messes since you were knee-high. The words hit harder than the kick. Covering for him? Flashes. The night he lost evidence from a bust. Me vouching he'd logged it. The underage dealer he let walk because the kid's dad was a donor. Me signing the report clean. I'd thought it was loyalty. Now it reeked of complicity. Rex scrambled up, ribs heaving, but his eyes locked on Dad, betrayed, but unbroken.
Iholstered me say.
Unclipped the lead. Attack, I whispered. Rex exploded forward, jaws clamping Dad's wrist, the gun clattering free. Dad howled, swinging wild, but Rex held, trained precision over brute force. Riley screamed, bolting for the door. I radioed it in. Shots not confirmed. Officer needs assistance. But as sirens wailed distant, Dad twisted free, blood sheeting his arm, and lunged for the back stairs. You don't get it, girl. It was me or you. He vanished into the basement, Rex hot on his heels. I followed, heart pounding the stairs like war drums.
Buzzamong, Dad, S-Man cave turned opium den.
Grow lights buzzing over hydroponic rows that weren't tomatoes.
Heroin.
Bricks of it, stamped with cartel eagles. And files, my files. Forged reports, my signature scrawled on manifests for missing dope, dates lining up with his sick days. He'd been running product through the department for years, pinning busts on me when they went south. The betrayal sank, and like Detroit winter, I'd taken the heat for his empire. Demotions disguised as team player moves. Whispers of Reed's daughter can't hack it. Rex cornered him in the furnace room, barking fury.
That spoon.
Grabbing a tire iron from the workbench. Call him off, but I stood there, frozen in the red glow of emergency lights piercing the grimy window. Upstairs, tires screeched SWAT, faster than I'd called for. Breach charges boomed, boots thundering. They flooded in, tack vests gleaming, long guns trained. Deep down on the ground, Dad dropped the iron, hands up, but his eyes, oh, those eyes, pleaded with me over Rex's snarls. Savvy.
Dewing.
It was for us. For the family. SWAT zip-tied him, dragging him topside as Rex sat at my heel, panting victory. 2 minutes from kick to cuff. The team lead, Vargas, a grizzled vet with a mustache like a broom, clapped my shoulder. Good work, Reed. Your dog's a goddamn hero. Flashbulbs popped from news vans already swarming the curb. Herlinas brawing, cops canina crucias corruption. But as they loaded Dad into the wagon, Riley sidled up, tears streaking her mascara. He said it was one last score.
So.
4 Mom's medical bills that insurance ghosted.
Lies.
Mom's debt was paid years ago, I'd cash my savings for it. Another secret he'd buried, making me the fool who footed his guilt. I watched the taillights fade, Rex's head heavy on my boot. Revenge? It tasted like ash. But deep down, in the pit where loyalty rots, I knew this was just round one. Dad had flipped the script on me my whole life. Now it was my turn to write the ending. That night blurred into paperwork hell, statements at the precinct, IA breathing down my neck about familial conflicts. Vargas bought me a coffee from the shitty machine black.
No sugar.
The way you drink it when sleep's a joke. He was dirty deep. Savannah. Cartel ties going back to your rookie year. You really had no idea? I stared at the foam cup, steam curling like ghosts. He was my dad. Simple as that. But it hung loaded. The way everything does in a city where family feuds fuel half the homicides. Rex sprawled under the table, bruise blooming purple on his side, but tail thumping when I scratched his ear. Vet's on call. But he was tough, purebred from the Bavarian breeders who supply the force. Bred for bite and brains. By dawn, the story leaked. Hero K9 takes down rogue cop. My phone blew up, text from old academy buds. A voicemail from the chief praising, read resilience. But buried in the noise was Riley's plea. Meet me at the diner.
Please.
He wants to talk. The Highland Park Diner, off Woodward Avenue, is the kind of joint where vinyl booths stick to your jeans and the hash is greasy salvation. I slid in at 7 a.m., Rex at my feet, collar jingling against the tile. Riley waited in the corner booth, nursing a milkshake, her nails picking at the formica like it owed her answers. He didn't mean it, she started. Voice a whisper shout. The kick. The words. Stress. You know, lost the pension last month. I leaned back, arms crossed over my vest, still in uniform, too wired to change. Stress doesn't plant H in my reports.
Ri.
Or frame your sister for trafficking. Her face crumpled, but not surprise, guilt. I helped log some. Just numbers. He said it was temporary. To keep the lights on. After Mom. Bullshit. Mom died broke because Dad gambled her chemo fund on Lions games. I'd clawed OT shifts to cover the funeral, while he drowned in denial. You knew. She nodded, tears plopping into the shake. He swore it'd end. Then the cartel guy, Victor Ruiz, started leaning. Said Dad owed 20 grand or it'd be us in the basement. Ruiz, mid-level enforcer for the Sinaloa offshoot running the Midwest pipelines. I'd busted 2 of his mules last spring. Rex alerting on a semi-truck at the Ambassador Bridge. Dad's eyes had gleamed then. Proud, now I saw the envy. Rex shifted, nose twitching at her fear. What does he want? I asked, voice steel. To see you. Before arraignment. Says he can explain the files. That it's not what it looks like. It looked like felony conspiracy. 15 to life. But blood's a blindfold. Tomorrow. But Rex comes. And if he twitches wrong. She nodded frantic. Outside, the city hummed awake, freight trains groaning over the river. Billboards hawking lotto dreams to the desperate. Detroit, city of ruins and reinvention, where Rust Belt pride clashes with fresh scars. I grew up idolizing its grit, the Motown sound, the auto baron's ghosts, but now it felt like a cage. Walls closing with every lie unearthed. Back at the precinct, the bullpen buzzed like a hive on amphetamines. Desks piled with case files. Fluorescents humming over coffee-stained mugs. My locker, a shrine to better days, Mom's St. Jude medal. Rex's first certification ribbon. I stripped the vest, muscles screaming from the night's adrenaline dump, and hit the showers. Scalding water couldn't wash the grime. Dad's blood on my boots. Riley's complicity in my veins. Vargas cornered me post-shift, leaning on the doorframe with a manila folder. Autopsy on the op.
Kid.
Your old man's basement? That's a kilo press worth of black tar. And get this, serial numbers on the bricks match a cold case from 18. The one that tanked your promo. The Milliken bust. I'd led the raid. Rex pinpointing the stash in a yacht club slip. Evidence vanished overnight. Pinned on chain of custody fuck-up, me. I'd swallowed it. Worked doubles to prove myself. He set me up. From the start. Vargas nodded grim. Mustache twitching. Looks like. But here's the rub. Ruiz's crew? They don't play lone wolf. Dad had a partner in the blue. Someone signing off on his side gigs. My blood iced. A mole? In DPD? The department's a family. Rotten as mine. Camaraderie masking the shakedowns. The donations to the widow's fund that never reached. Who? Working it. But watch your six.
Read.
Snakes shed skin. Not scales. I crashed in my studio in Midtown. A shoebox overlooking the DIA's marble lions. Reminder that beauty thrives amid the broken. Rex curled on the futon, guarding my sleep like a sentinel. Dreams came fractured. Dad's boot. Mom's cough. Riley's laugh turning to screams. Woke at 3 a.m. sweating. Glock under the pillow. Text from unknown. Family first.
Drop it.
Or Rex eats lead. Attached. Photo of my cruiser. Timestamped an hour ago. Paranoia? Or prelude? I forwarded it to IA. But trust was currency I couldn't spend anymore. Dawn brought arraignment. Wayne County lockup. A concrete beast swallowing souls. I suited up, jeans. Department polo. Rex's vest emblazoned K9 unit. Riley met me in the hall. Hollow-eyed. He's scared. Inside. The courtroom smelled of Lysol and despair, benches packed with defendants in orange. Lawyers shuffling plea deals like bad poker hands. Dad shuffled in chains. Arm bandaged. Face gaunt but eyes sharp, calculating. Always. When he saw Rex, he flinched, then forced a smile. Hey, girl. Loyal as ever. The judge droned bail denial, flight risk, public safety. Then recess. Family consult in a plexiglass booth. His voice crackled through the speaker. Savannah,
Listen.
it wasn't betrayal. It was protection. Ruiz had dirt on all of us. That 18 bust? I lifted the dope to square us. Signed your name 'cause you're clean. Untouchable. Lies wrapped in half-truths. The addict's art. Untouchable? You cost me, Sergeant.
Dad.
Made me a joke. He leaned close, breath fogging the glass. And save your ass from a bullet.
Ruiz kills his niches.
But there's a way out. Flip for the feds. Immunity for you and Ree. I take the fall. Tempting poison. The feds had been sniffing Ruiz for months. Rico net closing. But immunity? For what? Carrying his sins. Rex growled low, sensing the rot. What's the play? Meet his lieutenant tonight. Warehouse on Jefferson. Bring the files from home. Trade for the ledger. Proof I was coerced.
Coerced.
The words slithered. Echoing Mom's, he'll change. I nodded. hating the hook in my gut.
Outside.
Riley clung. It's a chance.
So.
For Normal. Normal died with Mom. But revenge? That simmered. Dark and sweet. The warehouse loomed on the Detroit River waterfront. A skeletal relic from the 70s shipping boom, rusted girders clawing the sky. Windows shattered like broken teeth. Moonlight silvered the asphalt, turning puddles to mirrors of the Ambassador Bridge's lights across the water. I parked a block out, Rex alert in the shotgun, nose questing the brine and decay. 9 p.m. sharp.
I approached solo. Per instructions, files stacked in a duffel.
Glock concealed. Rex stayed leashed, but loose. The side door creaked open, spilling yellow sodium glow. Inside, concrete vastness. Pallets stacked like gravestones, the hum of a generator underscoring the drip of leaks. Read. The voice echoed, female, edged with gravel.
Elena Vasquez.
Ruiz's right hand, stepped from shadows, 40s, ink-sleeved arms crossed over a leather jacket, eyes like chipped obsidian. I'd profiled her in training, ex-Michigan State, turned enforcer after her brother's deportation hit. Files, she said. No preamble. Handed over a burner phone. Proof first. I unzipped the duffel, spilling Dad's ledgers, columns of dates. Drops. My forged cigs glaring like accusations. Elena flipped through, lips curling. Jack always was sloppy.
But you.
You're the ghost. The one who doesn't break. Rex shifted, ears pricked at a scuffle overhead. Rats? Or watchers? Ledger. I pressed. Or no deal. She tossed a thumb drive. Coercion? My ass. Your old man begged for the work. Said it'd keep his girls in Nikes. She paused, eyes narrowing. Riley's cute. By the way. Community college star. Shame if she ODs like your mom. The threat landed low, twisting the knife. Mom's cancer. Dad's whisper to hush the autopsy. The track marks I'd dismissed as 4 bruises. Elena knew. And smiled. Rex lunged without command, instinct. Or my subconscious twitch on the lead. Jaws snapped inches from her thigh. Her curse echoing as she backpedaled, drawing a snub-nose .38. Call it off. Bitch. I yanked him back. Heart slamming. We're done. Snatched the drive. Bolted for the door. Shouts erupted, footfalls thundering from catwalks. Back up. Elena's crew, 3 goons in hoodies. Tats peeking. Irons glinting. Outside. I sprinted for the cruiser. Rex pounding beside. Drive burning in my pocket. Engine roared to life. Tires smoking as bullets pinged the fender. One grazed the mirror. Spiderwebbing glass. Fuck. I swerved onto Jefferson. Radio blazing. Officer needs assist. Pursuit. Eastbound. Sirens joined the fray, patrol cars materializing like Avengers. The chase snaked through Corktown's bars and breweries. Neon blurring. Horns blaring. Rex braced. Barking frenzy. My pursuers peeled off at Gresham, vanishing into alleys, ghosts in the machine. Precinct debrief. Vargas and Fed swarming. Drive decrypted to gold. Names.
Routes.
Ruiz's inner circle. Dad's coercion debunked. He'd initiated. Recruiting Riley as mule last year. My sister. The hidden blade. I confronted her at the diner again. Drive's printouts slapped between us. You ran product? For him. She crumbled, sobbing into napkins. Just once. To pay tuition. He said it was candy.
So,
Then Elena. She had pics. Of us as kids. Leverage. Leverage. The family curse. And Mom. Overdose. He covered it, said cancer to spare you. Spare me? Or his shame? Rage boiled. But under it, pity, a toxic brew. Feds want you to flip. Like him. She nodded. Broken. Will you? For the first time, I saw her, not sister, but survivor.
scarred same as me. Yeah.
But no more lies. That night, the twist hit like a gut punch. IA called. Anonymous tip. Video from the warehouse. Not Elena's crew, Dad's plant. He'd cut a side deal, tipping Ruiz to ambush, framing me as the dirty cop to buy his freedom. The kick? A signal. Rage masking calculation. He'd bet on Rex's loyalty breaking me, forcing a heroic stand-down. Betrayal's depths. He'd weaponized my love. For all of us. Rex sensed it, whining as I paced my apartment, bridge lights mocking through the window. The city slept uneasy. Freighters moaning on the river,
Carrying ghosts downstream.
Arraignment 2. Dad in the dock. Riley beside me as witness. His eyes met mine, pleading. Then steel. I did it for you, he mouthed. Lies to the grave. Feds rolled him post-plea. Rico Kingpin. 25 minimum. Elena nabbed at the border. Drive sealing the net. Riley got deferred. Community service. Second chances we both clawed for.
But me?
Badge intact. Promo whispers turning to cheers. Rex healed. Certified hero with a plaque at the kennel. Yet in quiet moments, staring at Mom's medal, I wondered, was revenge justice? Or just vengeance's echo? Dad's last letter, smuggled pre-sentencing, burned in my drawer. Proud of you.
Kid.
Even if it cost me.
Proud.
The word twisted, sparking debates in my head. Hero or monster? Family or fraud? Detroit taught me. Lines blur in the rust. And sometimes, pulling the trigger on blood is the only clean shot. As fall chilled the avenues, leaves carpeting Mac like confetti on a funeral, I walked Rex past the old house, foreclosed, boarded. A for sale sign fluttered, promising reinvention. We paused at Mom's tree, crab apples rotting sweet. Good boy, I murmured, burying a hand in his fur. He leaned in, uncomplicated. Revenge ended in cuffs, not coffins. But the scar? It itched. A reminder, in America's heartland grind, betrayal's the real opiate. And forgiveness? That's the controversial fix no one agrees on. Weeks bled into autumn. The kind where Detroit's winds whip off the lake like accusations, stripping trees bare and egos bare. The department threw me a bone, K-9 liaison gig with the feds, consulting on cartel tracks from a desk in the federal building downtown. It was a promotion in name, a leash in truth. Keep Reed visible. But leashed, the chief murmured at the ceremony, clapping my back too hard. Rex got his own handler vest, embroidered with SWAT savior and parade invites from City Hall. Heroes. We were on paper. But nights. The apartment echoed empty. Riley crashed on my couch post-arraignment, her community college dreams deferred to probation check-ins. We'd cook spaghetti from the dollar store, her chopping onions while I stirred sauce, Rex hoovering scraps. Think he'll write again? She'd ask, voice small. Dad's letters came sporadic, crayon scrawled from Wayne County. Tales of yard fights and Bible study cons. Miss my girl and her mutt. One read. Postscript. Tell Reed to study hard. No more shortcuts. Shortcuts. The irony curdled my gut. I'd burn them in the sink. Flames dancing blue. But save the ashes in a Folgers can, like Mom's urn. A poor man's memorial. The controversy brewed slow, like bad beer. First leak, a free press op-ed. Dynasty of Dirt, how one family fooled the force. Anonymous source, IA? Fed rival. Spilled the forged files. My complicity in bold. Comment sections lit up. Reads as guilty as her old man. Versus K9 cop cleared witch hunt. Talk radio ate it. Rush wannabes foaming about blue blood corruption. My inbox flooded. Death threats from cartel sympathizers. Marriage proposals from badge bunnies. Vargas pulled me aside one shift. Over beers at Slow's barbecue. Brisket falling off the bone. Sauce sticky as regret. Ignore the noise.
Kid.
It's Detroit. Scandals are sport. But his eyes said different. Watch the mirrors. The flip came mid-October. Rain lashing the windows like it had a grudge. I was briefing a joint task force, me, feds, a couple MSP troopers on Ruiz's splinter cells, projector humming maps of drop points. Rex dozed at my feet, ear flopped comically. Then the door banged. Elena Vasquez, in cuffs, flanked by U.S. Marshals. Special delivery, the lead drawled. Your snitches got a gift. They'd flipped her en route to trial, full confession for witness protection. She glared through the glass partition. Makeup smudged. Leather traded for orange. Reed, she rasped when they patched her in. Your dad's a rat in sheep's clothing. But you're the you. The room tensed. Fed scribbling. Elena spilled. Dad hadn't just run product. He'd engineered the frame to climb the cartel ladder. Recruited me young. Feeding tips to sabotage rivals. Then scapegoating busts on my watch. Jack wanted kingpin status, she sneered. Said his daughters were collateral. Riley? Bait. You? The fall guy. Collateral. The word echoed, polarizing the brass, whispers of deeper probe. Or close the book. I gripped the table. Knuckles white. Rex's head in my lap like an anchor. Proof. She slid a photo under the door, grainy. Timestamp 17. Dad and Ruiz at a Tigers game. Arms slung. Laughing over foam fingers. My stomach roiled. That was the summer I'd aced K9 trials. Dad toasting with pride. Lies layered like lacquer. Post-brief. I drove aimless. Wipers slapping rhythm. Pulled over on Belle Isle. The island's peacocks strutting indifferent under sodiums. River churning black below. Rex whined from the back. Pawing the seat. What now?
Boy.
I buried my face in his neck. Salt mixing with fur. Revenge phase 2, not cuffs, but exposure. I'd leak it myself. Truth is weapon. Riley found out via my drunk dial at 2 a.m. He used us. I slurred. Vodka burning from the corner store fifth. All of it. She showed next morning. Bags under eyes. Clutching her psych textbook like a shield.
Elena Lim?
To cut a deal? Pick doesn't lie. I tossed my phone. She scrolled, face draining. Then the flip, her eyes hardened, not with shock, but recognition. I knew some. The game tickets, he'd come home reeking of cigars. Cash fat. Said it was OT.
New.
Again. The betrayal cycled. A carousel from hell. You covered? Just.
Didn't ask.
She sank to the futon, head in hands.
We rereads. So.
We bury shit.
Bury.
Like mom's tracks. Dad's debts. My career craters. That night, we schemed over cold pizza. Go public? Sue the department for defamation? Or silent rebuild? Let time erode the rust? The decision polarized us. Riley for quiet, me for storm. He took everything, I argued. Time to take back. Her voice cracked. And become him? Vengeful. Alone? Alone. The word stung. Truer than I admitted. Rex mediated, nudging her hand till she scratched. A truce in fur. But fate flipped harder. Next dawn. Knock at 6:15 feds. Badges gleaming wet from drizzle. Savannah Reed?
Need you downtown. Now.
The federal building's interview room. Sterile white. Two-way mirror reflecting my haggard face. Lead agent. Harlan 50s. Crew cut. Tie like a noose, slit a folder. Your sister's in protection. Elena's testimony? It names you too. Not pawn, player. Player. Heart stuttered. Pages. Wire transfers from shell accounts. My name beneficiary. What the? Jack funneled clean money your way. Tuition. Mom's bills, laundered through your OT claims. Harlan leaned in, breath minty. You signed off. Willingly. Willingly? Flashes. Dad slipping envelopes for the house, me depositing blind. Grateful. Guilt money. Blood tainted. I didn't know. Intense fuzzy Enrico.
His eyes bored.
Flip on the department mole. We bury this. Otherwise, cuffs for me. The ultimate betrayal. Dad's sins seeping into my soul, making me complicit by proxy. Rex paced outside, pawing the door like he sensed the noose. I lawyered up, public defender with a rep for blue-collar wins, then called Riley from holding. They got you too? Her voice trembled. Witness. Not suspect. Fight it. You're clean.
Clean?
Laughter bubbled bitter. Ask Dad. Arraignment loomed. Media circus swelling. Trucks from CNN. Locals baying for Reed reckoning. Protests outside. Cops union waving signs back the blue. Activists chanting no justice. No peace over cartel victims. Polarized city. Picking sides in my blood. Vargas visited pre-court. Smuggling jerky for Rex. Moles close. Traced a tip to internal affairs. Your play.
Truth serum, I said.
Full disclosure. Files. Transfers all out. He nodded slow. Risky. Makes you martyr or monster. Martyr. The word tempted. Revenge in revelation. Better than ghost. Court day. Gray skies spitting sleet. Wayne County steps slick as lies. I walked in free, bail posted anonymous. Riley's doing. Rex at heel.
Westprod.
Dad watched from the pen.
Chained.
Eyes wet. Savvy. Save it. My voice echoed. Drawing gasps. The gallery hushed as I took the stand, not as defendant, but whistleblower. Jack Reed didn't act alone. I began. Voice steady as Lake St.
Claire.
He had help. Badges bought with blood money. Gasps rippled. I named names from Elena's drive. Cross-checked with feds. LT. Harlan. The clean agent briefing me. Twist. He'd been Dad's conduit, flipping evidence for cartel kickbacks. The room exploded, reporters scrambling, judge banging gavel like thunder. Dad's face shock, then sly pride. Atta girl. Outside. Chaos, flashbulbs blinding. Mics thrusting. MS. Read. Was it revenge? One shouted. I paused. Rex's lead firm. Justice. With teeth. Harlan arrested mid-stride. Badge yanked on live TV. Riley hugged me fierce, whispering, proud. But the scar deepened. Dad's trial fast-tracked, life without. No deals. His last look, not hate, but hunger for the son I never gave him. Winter gripped Detroit, snow muffling the howls. I reclaimed my handler post. Rex and I raiding a chop shop off 8 Mile, tires screeching, perps scattering like roaches. Clean bust. No shadows. Yet debates raged in bars. Online, hero's daughter or enabler's heir, forgiveness folly or family fraud. I let them argue. Walking Rex at dusk. Bridge lights winking promise. Revenge closed circles, but opened eyes. Sometimes, in the quiet, I'd wonder, if I'd pulled that trigger that first night, would the city breathe easier? Or just another ghost in the rest? Spring thawed the frozen veins of the city, but grudges lingered like black ice under tires. By April, the headlines faded to footnotes. Read Rico Roundup nets 12, but the fallout stuck like tar to my boots. Department reassigned me to Training Academy. K9 Basics for Rookies. How to read a dog's tell. Trust over ego. Irony? Thick as coney sauce. Rex thrived, demoing alerts on planted dope. Tail wagging through the chaos of greenhorns fumbling leashes. He's got better instincts than half you punks, I'd bark. And they'd laugh, nervous, respectful. Riley bloomed uneasy, back at Wayne State. Psych major grinding for a counselor's cert. Helping junkies, she'd quip over takeout foe. Chopsticks dancing. Like therapy for us. Our bond mended crooked, stitches visible, but holding. She'd babysit Rex on my doubles. Posting selfies, Auntie and the fuzzball. Normalcy's facade. Fragile as Ford field glass. But Dad's shadows stretched long. Letters ceased post-sentencing. Replaced by rumors from the yard. Jack Reed, the snitch killer, shanked in a laundry brawl. Cartel hit. Vargas confided over wings at Lafayette, sweet heat mirroring the burn. Ruiz's boys don't forget. Dead? The word hollowed me. No tears came, just a numb audit. Sins tallied. Debts unpaid. Funeral? Denied state pen policy. No bodies, no service. Riley mourned quiet, lighting candles at Mom's tree. I towed the dirt, Rex digging beside, unearthing a crabapple root like buried truth. The real flip brewed in May. Heat wave miraging the asphalt. A cold case thawed, the 12 heroin surge that OD'd 30 in Cass Corridor. Pinned on a ghost crew. Feds tapped me. Your insight's gold. Read. And Rex's nose led us to a stash house in Hamtramck. Polish delis masking the trap. Breach. Flashbangs popping. Perps scrambling. One held out. A wiry kid. 19. Ruiz ink fresh on his neck. Interrogation. Me and Vargas tag teaming. Rex pacing the glass. Kid cracked. Ain't Ruiz. It's the widow. Widow? Elena's predecessor. Ruiz's ex. Maria. Presumed vanished after a 15 hit. She runs the veins now, kid spat. From the shadows. Your old man? He was her first lieutenant, twist knifed deep. Dad. Not pawn, but architect. Maria's rise? His blueprint. Betrayed when he flipped for feds years back. Pre-mom's death. Pre-me carrying ghosts. The kid slid a name. Ask your sister. She couriered for the lady. Riley. Again. I stormed her dorm that night. Rain sheeting the windshield like judgment. She answered in sweats. Textbooks splayed.
Sup?
What's? Maria. The name dropped heavy. Her face blanched. Books tumbling. You knew. She sank to the bed. Knees buckling. Summer 19. Dad sent me with a package for a friend. It was her. Said she was family. Like us. Widowed. Tough.
Pause.
Eyes pleading. She helped with tuition when you were OT deep. Helped. Poison gift. And the OD surge? Kids dying. Tears hot. I didn't know the load. Swear. But her flinch screamed complicit, the reed reflex. Bury and bolt. Rage crusted. Polarizing. Confront Maria? Drag Riley under? Or sever? Let blood dilute? Rex.
Kenneled for the drive.
Would judge pure. I chose storm. Feds tomorrow.
Full spill.
She nodded.
Shattered.
End it.
Sup?
For mom.
Mom.
The invocation sealed it. Dawn brought Harlan's successor, Agent Tate. Sharp as a stiletto.
No mastas chbagi.
We met in a federal safe house off Telegraph. Blinds drawn against the sprawl. Riley recited. Drops.
Meets.
Maria's penthouse overlooking the Renaissance Center. Glamour veiling grit. Tate's eyes gleamed. This cracks the Midwest ring. You're gold. Read. But to me, your call on charges. Sisters green. Probation possible. Possible. Mercy with teeth. I nodded.
Gut churning.
Revenge's evolution. Not blind fury. But scalpel cuts. The raid plan tight. SWAT core. Me and Rex embedded. Handler's edge. Tate justified. June humidity clung like guilt as we rolled out at midnight. Convoy snaking past casinos, neon lies. Maria's tower. Glass monolith. Doormen grease silent. Elevators hummed to 32. Rex's claws clicking marble halls. Breach. Silent picks. Then boom. Door splintering. Chaos erupted. Guards drawing. Maria in silk robe at the balcony. City lights haloing her poise. 40s. Raven hair loose. Eyes like Dad's, calculating. Unyielding. Read. She purred. Hands up slow. Jack's legacy. Rex lunged on command, pinning a goon mid-draw. I advanced. Glock steady. Game over. Maria. She laughed. Low smoke.
Was it?
Your father built this. Betrayed me for a bad shine. Then framed you to slither back. I just finished the weave. Finished. The web tightened. Her OD push. Payback on Dad's clean busts. Kids as collateral. Polarizing horror. Monster or mirror to his greed. Cuffs clicked. Feds swarming her safe. Ledger digital. Terabytes of read tangles. My name woven innocent, but inextricable. Tate clapped my shoulder post Miranda. Clean sweep. You're clear.
Clear.
But the drive home. Riley's silent shotgun. Rex panting rear. Doubt nod. What now? She whispered.
Fight, I said.
Like Reed's. But right. Summer peaked brutal. Block parties thumping bass over grills. Fireworks cracking like suppressed shots. Academy shifts ground on. Rookies bonding over my war stories. The night Rex ate the rogue. Laughter masked the ache. Dad's ghost in every shadow. Maria's sneer in dreams. Riley's flip cemented mid-July. She testified voluntary. Maria's empire crumbling in federal court. Gallery packed. Victims kin glaring. Cartel lawyers sneering. Riley's voice trembled but held. I was blind. Won't be again. Judges nodded. Probation granted. Counseling mandated. Her psych path ironic salvation. Post-verdict. We hit the Riverwalk. Cones from Sanders dripping hot fudge. Rex lapped a kiddie pool puddle. Tourists snapping pics. Free, she breathed. Almost. The controversy crested Labor Day. Leaked audio from Maria's cell. Her taunt to lawyers. Savannah Reed? Jack's pawn turned queen. She'll crack next. Ambition's the real drug.
Crack.
The word viralized. Podcast dissecting. Is K9 hero hiding more? Union rallied. Hands off our own. While activists picketed precincts. Transparency or tyranny? Vargas texted. Stay frosty. Internal sniffing. Sniffing. Like Rex on a trail gone cold. I doubled down. FOIA dumps on my files. Pressers blunt as brass. Every sin's aired. Judge me on actions. Not blood. Public split. Hero polls at 60%. Whispers at 40%. Polarized pulse of America. Forgive the flawed. Or fry 'em. Autumn whispered change. Leaves turning like pages. A letter arrived. Maria's. Pre-transfer to Supermax. Jack chose wrong.
You keep the teeth.
Bite back.
Bite.
The advice lingered. Dark mentor. Rex and I patrolled the changing guard. New chief. Reforms brewing. One night. Busting a joyride crew in Mexican town. A kid spat. Your dad's why my brother's inside. I paused.
Cuffs clicking.
Mine too. Let's break the chain. He nodded. Wary.
Chain.
The Reed curse. Or chance. As frost nipped. I stood at Mom's tree. Wind soughing. Planted a sapling, new growth from rot. Riley joined. Trowel in hand. For her.
For us. Revenge arc bent.
Not broke, toward dawn. Debatable light. Winter's grip loosened grudging by New Year's. But Detroit's soul stayed iced, steel skies over shuttered plants. Horns blaring defiance. The department hailed me icon. Reed Resilience Award at the policeman's ball. Tuxed brass toasting with domestics. Rex in a bow tie stealing the spotlight. I smiled for flashes. Speech short. Loyalties earned. Not bloodborne. Applause thundered. But Riley's grip under the table said it all. We were survivors. Scarred show.
Postball.
The twist uncoiled venomous. February thaw unearthed a body in the Rouge River, male. Mid-50s. Weighted with cinder blocks. Dental match Jack Reed, dad. Escaped during a bogus transport glitch. Harlan's last gasp from the grave. Mob hit? Or suicide? Chain self-forged? Autopsy leaked. Single shot. Close range, his own .38. Retrieved from the riverbed. Note pinned to his shirt. Water blurred. For Savvy and Ree. Sorry ain't enough. And the cycle.
Suicide.
The word fractured us. Riley sobbed at the coroner's. Clutching Mom's medal. He chose this.
Chose.
Like he'd chosen us to carry. Then cut loose. Feds ruled it clean. No cartel trace. But whispers swirled. Maria's whisper from the max. Or, my leaks pushing him over. Guilt gnawed. Polarizing my nights. Enabler of despair. Or catalyst for closure. Media frenzy reignited. Rogue cops final flip. Pundits debating on Fox. Cowards out. Or confessor's grace. MSNBC countered. Systemic failure. Blame the badge. I dodged mics. Walked Rex through Eastern market stalls. Vendor calls a bomb. Hero pup. Cone for the mensch. Spring bloomed vengeful. Maria's appeal tanked. But her queen barb fermented. Anonymous drops at my locker. Tampered kibble for Rex. Slashed tires etched pawn. Stalker? Or ghost echo? Vargas upped my detail. Unmarked tail. Rotating shifts. The climax crested May Day. Labor rallies clogging downtown, union fists high. Chants drowning traffic. I was keynote at a K9 expo. Rex demoing flood rescues in the Hart Plaza fountain. A crowd oohing as he saved a dummy. Applause crested. Then shattered. Shot cracked. Plexi shield spiderwebbing inches from my podium. Chaos. Screams scattering picnickers. Rex barking berserk. Lunging stage edge.
I dove?
Glock drawn. Scanning the throng. Shooter fled into the underpass. But Rex, off-lead in the frenzy, tracked. Nose to asphalt. Me sprinting after. Underpass. Graffiti-tagged pillars. Rivers stink thick. Rex cornered him. Hooded figure. Mid-20s. Ruiz tat faded on his wrist. For the boss lady, he snarled. Knife flicking. You buried her empire. Maria's disciple. The blade arced. Rex intercepted. Jaws clamping forearm. Yowl echoing concrete. I tackled. Knee to spine. Cuffs biting. DPD? Drop it. Backup swarmed. Sirens ululating. Interrogation. Kid named Tito. Elena's nephew. Radicalized in juvie.
Unclavik.
Aunt Maria, your blood took M.
And I.
Read.
I.
The cycle spun. Blood for blood. Polarizing bust. Hero save. Or provocation's fruit. Press aided. K9 queen crushes cartel comeback. Tate visited post-hospital. Stitches for Rex's gash. My bruise blooming purple. You're clear. But done. Relocate. Relocate. Uproot Detroit's roots? Riley Wade in over diner fries. Stay. Fight the narrative. Narrative. The Reed Saga. Penned in pain. I chose stay. Summer patrols with reinforced vest. Community forums hashing. Reform through redemption. Fall's harvest brought harvest. Maria's max transfer hit a snag. Escape attempt foiled. Her cellmate flipping for leniency. Confession. Jack lived. Faked the hit. My insurance. But your leaks? They broke him true.
Lived?
Faked? Autopsy lied. Body double. Cartel corpse swapped. Dad free. Ghosting south of the border. Maria's taunt allure. Twist gutted. Revenge unfinished. Betrayal eternal. Feds mobilized. Amber alert for ghosts. But I knew. He'd slithered. Cycle unbroken. Polarizing end. Hunt him. Or let karma claim. Riley and I decided over Thanksgiving turkey. Rex gnawing a wishbone.
Write our story, she said.
Not his.
Story.
This one. 4,000 words of rust and redemption. I penned at nights. First person raw. Shopping to a podcaster with Motown grit. Debate fuel, he grinned. Right or wrong? You decide. It dropped viral. Streams spiking. Forums fracturing. Savannah saint or siren? Happy? In scars mending. Tragic? In blood unbound. As snow dusted again, I walked the bridge at dusk, Rex trotting steady. Lights twinkled, Canada mocking across the strait. Promise in the flow. Dad's ghost. Somewhere.
Scheming. Mine?
Biting back. In America's tense heart, revenge debates eternal. Pull the trigger. Or pen the piece. I chose both, teeth and tail, leaving you to pick the side.